All right. Milan are in the Champions League officially after beating Juve 1-0 at the Juventus Stadium. The third time in 50 years we do the double over Juve, and the first time since 2010. Only their second loss at home this season, so that's quite impressive. All we needed was a draw, and we got the win through an incredible cross from Calabria and an even better header from Giroud. Just, leaning back, still getting that power straight to the bottom corner. I mean, that was an incredible header. Which, was the exclamation point on an otherwise pretty average game from both teams. Juve didn't play like they had to win. They factually had to win if they wanted to keep their Champions League hopes alive after the 10-point deduction. And they didn't play like it at all. The goal is the perfect summation of how they played. Calabria gets the ball and he has 5 seconds with no pressure whatsoever. Nobody even, just constantly retreating. Juve just constantly retreating, and Calabria plays in a wonderful ball, and we go 1-0 up. And from then, it was pretty much cruise control. There was one more chance we had with Brahim flicking it to Giroud on the counter. Giroud had the opportunity to play Brahim in behind, wide open. No idea how he doesn't play that. He keeps running, makes the Juventus defender commit. He slots it off to Salamakers, whose shot was saved by Szczesny. Other than that, that was pretty much all the chances in the game. I think actually Kalulu had one really big block right at the end of the game off Juve set piece that he didn't really know much about. But other than that, that's pretty much all the chances in the game. I'm not gonna bore you with talking about this game. There was so little to talk about, and I think it was very easily summarized by how Leao played, or rather, he barely played. He basically didn't play. He was there in name and in spirit, but he was just a number on the field. I'll say it feels a bit weird how going it was basically done, that we weren't. It was very unlikely that we would get top 4. A couple weeks ago, and then Juve's 10-point deduction came in, and then it became very likely that we would make top 4. And it feels a bit weird. I will say, a sign of how the times have changed is that off the back of clinching Champions League with a game to spare, I feel a little underwhelmed, given how I would have begged for this. This was the only thing I ever wanted from Milan for 10 years. For 10 years, all I wanted was this. And we've gotten it again for a third season in a row. And it feels a little that says something about how far we've come. I think the season as a whole, basically the season's over, so I guess we get to talk about it now. The season as a whole was underwhelming. The title defense was non-existent. The Champions League, I would say, look, it's super disappointing to lose it to Inter, right? But if you had lost it to anybody else, everybody would be just celebrating the fact that we made the semifinals. So I would say a 7 or 8 out of 10 at the end of the day. The cup, this is what happens every year, right? Every year we lose in the cup in stupid fashion, right? Like we did this year. It was ridiculous that we lost to Torino. And I get mad about it. Okay? And everybody starts saying, oh, well, it's the cup. Who cares? Oh, well, it's the cup. It doesn't matter. Oh, well, it's the cup. This is where you rest players. Okay, cool. Then one of our rivals wins the cup, and everybody starts going see? Why didn't we go for the cup? Well, why didn't you? Nobody had that opinion after we lost to Torino. All I kept reading is the Coppa Italia doesn't matter. Okay, cool. We had an unbelievably, unprecedentedly easy path to the final. All you had to do was beat Torino. Then you would have gotten Cremonese, I believe, and then Fiorentina in the semis. Now, I'm not saying you automatically beat all those teams, seeing as we've lost to Fiorentina and couldn't beat Cremonese either times this season. But I'm just saying, it's not a path of juggernauts, to the final. Focus on the cup every once in a while. Now, on the other hand, get some goddamn depth so that you should be able to rotate in the cup and still be able to put something together. I think this summer, you go, striker, you go center midfielder, and you go right wing. And if you can get guys like El Shaarawy and guys like Kamada, who we've been linked with, and add those little cherries on top, that's perfect. But the Sunday has to be completed. You have to get those 3 positions. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Those positions have to be strengthened. And I'm going to be doing some videos about who I think we should target for each of those positions on my channel, Bdair Ball. And I'm going to be doing some articles going more in depth on those individual players for Sempre Milan. So you can, look out for those. But other than that, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, the game was underwhelming, and the occasion just felt underwhelming because it was all you needed was a draw. And realistically, even if we had lost, we would have still had the game against Hellas, which would have been a nail biter, seeing as then it would be dangerous. But still, like, at the end of the day, it comes down to we did it. We did the absolute bare minimum with some help. So that feels a little weird, but we're in the Champions League, and we get something that's crucial for our plans going forward.